All right. So this is the first time I've ever done anything like this. Um, this is about quitting marijuana and how much the first week has sucked. Because I was smoking probably, let's see, the last 4 years, maybe a quarter a week. And then on weekends, if I had nothing going on, I might blow through an entire quarter in 2 days, which is insane. And then on the times when I couldn't get access to any kind of weed, um, I'd be texting all my buddies that I knew that dealt, probably 3 or 4 of them at a time, seeing who would get back to me first. And whoever that person was the person I'd go see at the end of the night to go pick up my bag, just so I could smoke myself retarded, and then, sorry for that word, smoke myself into a stupor, and then pass out, have a crappy sleep, wake up, smoke, do the same thing again. And that was pretty much what I've done for the last 4 years, maybe a little less than 4. And probably what precipitated that was I was dating a girl for a while and also smoking. I was also in a punk band for a while, and they were really into smoking, and it was a big band, and I was playing drums, and it was fun to get back into playing shows and feeling like it was important and everything, because I've been playing punk music since I was 15. And that little door that opened when I started smoking kind of opened up the habit again, which I had gotten rid of for a long time. And I used to have a lot of problems with smoking because it used to give me anxiety, and it would make me get really paranoid and quiet to the point where I just wouldn't even go outside. So I knew deep down that it wasn't for me. But since I started living on my own, any of those issues weren't an issue because if I was alone and smoking, I wasn't going to get those paranoid thoughts about being around people. So it started cycling and turning into a thing. By the way, I'm recording this on my shitty photo booth camera, so apologies for the quality. Perhaps maybe later on in life I will update to something a little bit nicer. Anyways, where was I? Quitting. So yeah, a week ago, I got home from a wedding. I had a really bad hangover. Amazing wedding, and I decided to eat some edibles and didn't know my own limit and ate too much of them and smoked, and I think I had some sort of hypoglycemic dip or something because apparently when you have too much THC, your body can just go bananas. And woke up in a pool of sweat, and I was like, this is it. I can't smoke this stuff anymore. I need to quit. I need to be done with this, get this out of my system. 5 days later, with no sleep, holy shit. I've had burning skin sensations, pools of sweat in the middle of the night, changing up to 2 times a night. I've been laying down in the shower when my anxiety was super ridiculous, just so I could have the heat on me, just to calm my body down. And that seemed to work for a while. And that went on for about 5 straight days. And the only thing that sort of helped is I went out grocery shopping, bought a bunch of healthy food, got a bunch of vitamin C pills, all these things that I kept reading about online just to calm myself down. And I think taking a day off in the middle of the week from work, because I did have a cold, it was pretty bad. I think that helped to kind of get my mind right in what I was trying to do during this little detox. But it got me realizing that the amount that I abused this drug was absurd. And nobody should be smoking every day, even if you like the plant, because I still love it. But I think for right now, it's not going to be part of my life indefinitely, which is fine. I've had my fun with it, and I think unfortunately, due to the way that I abused it, I don't know if I can necessarily trust myself to go and smoke it again and do it responsibly. And maybe I can. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But I'm just here to say, 1 week in, it was a terrible experience, but it is real, and it does go away. Still dealing with it a little bit. I get a little apprehensive when it's bedtime, because that's when it starts getting on my mind that am I going to sleep? Am I going to wake up in a pool of sweat? Blah, blah, blah. It's not fun. Literally feels like you're coming off of the worst drugs in your life, which is absurd because it's weed and everybody says weed's not addictive. That's just a load of crap. If you're a person that has, a semblance of an IQ, you're going to realize that anything that has a chemical in it that messes with your dopamine regulation system and your reward system, when you deprive yourself of those things, your brain is not going to know what to do with itself. And I'm not talking about somebody that smokes once a week. If you smoke once a week, you're probably not going to go through withdrawal. If you smoke once a month, you're definitely not going to go through withdrawal. But if you're smoking 3 or 4 bowls a day and you're doing this for a year straight, 2 years straight, 10 years straight, taking something dramatically out of your system at that, like cold turkey, your brain's going to go haywire for a little while. Maybe it won't. Maybe you'll be lucky. But from what I've seen online, including I think it's called the DSM diagnostic material, whatever the fuck it's called, they are now including marijuana withdrawal in their psychological profiles for withdrawal symptoms, and it's going to be a real thing. And it's probably because the amount of bud that people have, the kind of bud people have access to is so potent these days. It's about 20%. There's no CBDs in anything, which is actually really important in the marijuana you smoke, because that is sort of the antagonist to THC, to making sure that while THC binds to your brain, you get the CBDs that also have other properties that are very important if you're smoking a plant. You can smoke CBDs to relieve pain, and you won't get high, and that's a great thing if you don't want psychoactive issues. So that's the main problem. People just smoke too much now, and withdrawals are a real thing. So I'm just here kind of riffing, talking about my own experience here. I've been talking for like 7 minutes, Jesus Christ. And I made a lot of changes this week. It's only been a week. Training for a half marathon, which I've been training for a while, even though I've been smoking. Just so I can get rid of the rest of my chubbiness. And, oh yeah, there you go. Planet Fitness. They gave me a free shirt and everything. And it's just my Sunday shirt because I'm doing laundry. But yeah. It sucks. It's real. Oh, and I did ask the doctor for a little help with the medicine. So I decided to ask for Klonopin, which I did have a prescription for a long time ago because I've had a history of anxiety. It goes, it comes, it goes, it comes. Sometimes it's gone for a year. Sometimes it's back for 6 months. Then it's gone for 2 years. Who knows? People's brains are just fucked up. And yeah, just the way it is. And I think part of it comes with me being a super creative guy. I do a lot of things, work in video production, do a lot of band stuff. I write a whole bunch of music. I drink way too much coffee. That's one thing I would say if you're quitting weed or detoxing, cut that out of your system right now. The other thing, too, is try to get as much vitamin C out of real fruits and vegetables and stuff as you can. Don't just rely on, like, all these supplements to get you through all these things, because foods break the blood-brain barrier, and supplements don't, because there's not enough things for them to combine with in order to get into your bloodstream and then affect your brain. So just eat a healthy diet. It's just life 101. If you can't, I mean, if you're not sleeping right and eating right, and if you're not doing your life 101 shit, you're going to be so fucked. So just get your life in order while you're quitting. You might as well do it then. Even though you feel like shit, just start then. I've heard that it goes away in about a month. You're going to experience, maybe depression, maybe anxiety, night sweats. Let's see, what else? What did I experience? I had burning skin. Holy shit, that was the worst. I felt depersonalized, or whatever that is, that dream feeling. I also felt this weird feeling in my chest, like this forever dark feeling. I think Louis C.K. talks about it on some Conan skit, which I think is hilarious. He gets it. He's a comedy guy. All those dudes are a little nuts. But yeah, I do think this is a good thing, and I think I was using weed in general to relieve myself from a little bit of mental anguish, because I've grown up with a pretty rough life, and I think half of it's of my own doing, and the other half is a situational. Everybody has a pretty tough life, so it's important to, sorry, my computer went to sleep there for a second. It's important to figure out why you started doing it, which is going to aid in your recovery, and then you can make moves to remedy the reason why you cut it out. I also highly recommend going to talk to somebody, because I've been seeing somebody off and on for about 6 years, and I think it's very important. Even if you can't afford to do it, just go talk to a friend. I have a few buddies of mine that, sometimes I don't want to talk about it, but I'll let them know what's going on, and it takes a little bit of the edge off, just knowing that, I don't have to hide it. And I also have a friend that has extreme anxiety just like myself, and she does a workbook. I do a workbook just to, maintain some shit. And other than that, that's all I kind of have to say. If you are going through hell, keep going, because that's what Winston Churchill said. And he was a legend, right? All right, see you guys.